Hello, everybody. We're live. Hi, Mr. Scott.
Good morning, Nancy Jane. How is everyone today?
Well, we have a few questions that got posted early, and I'm going to put those up for us to start answering. They're pretty much the ones I'd expected when I woke up this morning, people are going to ask. There's one that's kind of unique, and I'll answer it early because the audience is just building right now. Hi, everybody. We see all of you that put nice messages to us and say Happy Easter, etc. Happy Easter to everybody. Happy Passover. Yes, it should be a healing time. Apparently, I did you watch any Saturday Night Live last night?
I was listening to a few of them as I was preparing with you. Yeah.
When J.D. Vance has written this book called Communion, which is how he became converted to Catholicism, and they said that's the worst thing that has happened to the Catholic Church in almost 1,000 years or something.
Yeah, people aren't happy because the cover of his book is a Methodist church.
I wouldn't be happy either. I mean, they work hard to develop all those weird things. Okay. I've got our questions. Okay. The first question I'm going to answer, because this is one of my normal sort of questions. What's a ley line? Ley, and that is how you spell it. And ley lines are straight energy lines that this guy found in the early 1900s in England. And he figured out that all these cathedrals were in a straight line and a lot of holy places are in a straight line. And then when they really looked at them, they realized, oh, they're in a straight line through the stone circles. I mean, it's ancient energy from the earth that, and it started in England, and now they've tracked the energy of a ley line slightly different. And I'm not even going to get into that because that's like taking a class in physics. But earth energy lines run all over the earth too. But ley lines, we have a big dragon line that it's a ley line, and it's called a dragon line because it's a big one. It starts on the west coast and it ends up in Holy Hill, right near you, in Wisconsin, in Scott. So you can look it up, and it is spelled Ley. And what is it? It's a special line that has been followed, and people in England, there are Google things in England. There's a Google map that you can go to, and if you get the energy of a ley line, you can add it to that map trace, and it will say if it's, and they will tell you where all the ley lines are. We don't have that kind of thing here in the US, unfortunately. We have earth energy lines.
Yeah, you can look it up. There's your standard 7 places around the
that are the chakras of the earth, right?
Yeah, the 7 chakras, like Stonehenge, the pyramids. There's a
Mount Shasta,
Sedona.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ancient rock in Australia.
It used to be called Ayers Rock, the big red rock that just sticks up in the middle of the country. Yeah.
So yeah, if you create a map, you just point 1 to 1. You're like, the pyramid to Stonehenge. And anything in there, you'll find cathedrals or ancient places along that line all the way up to Stonehenge, kind of thing.
And there's a documentary you can find on YouTube about Templars in the ley line, and the Templars used to follow the ley lines, and they would build their houses of worship. The Knights of the Templars would build their houses of worship on those spaces that they'd get to. And there was this one ley line, and it went through the Atlas Mountains. And everybody goes, there's nothing in the Atlas Mountains. And when they got in there, sure enough, there was a Templar church that had been abandoned a long time ago, but it was still there. So that it's kind of a fun, interesting topic if you want to understand earth energies and how we're all tied together.
Yeah, you talked about Holy Hill, and I traced the ley line from Stonehenge down to Sedona, and it crosses Holy Hill.
Mm-hmm.
That ancient healing church up near me, near Milwaukee, closer, but
The Catholics took it over as soon as they got there because they realized it was so powerful. It was it was an indigenous site of great energy. And
Yeah.
you've been there and you've seen
Yeah.
it.
There was the story goes it was like a miracle healing place.
Mm-hmm.
So settlers or there'd be treks to go there for miraculous healing, and
Mm-hmm.
supposedly it was true, and it would take what I felt was like the earth energy there absorbed that negativity or that cancer or whatever it would be
Mm-hmm.
to the ground. Because when I walked the place and I was feeling for energy in certain places, and I felt ill in two different places, like this is where the concentration of energy is.
Right. The energy can be overwhelming. When I have a ley line tree, or I have an earth energy tree, Hogarth, out in front of my house. And I mean, the universe was nice to me. They actually, it painted a big yellow stripe that went right under this tree that was all full of bumps and burls. If you see a tree full of bumps and burls, it's on an earth energy line. And when I first used to go out and visit him, I'd be dizzy by the time I got home. And I thought, God, it's not that far. It's like a city block for me to walk there. But it's really the energy that's around it. And and I would carry one of my dowsing stones, and I have one that's made out of metal. It's really heavy. So you can put it outside and the wind won't blow it around. It's really, really sturdy. And I went out there and I figured out exactly where all of the energy was going in and out. So I could stand to the side and not stand in the middle of the energy that runs into this tree because it's really incredibly powerful. Anyway, enough my weird neighborhood.
If you would Google Holy Hill, and it's near Milwaukee,
Mm-hmm.
like north of Menominee Falls, I can't remember the town name, but now it's like a retreat. Some of the original structures there. It's a huge church now,
They
basically.
also have the Stations of the Cross out in the gardens, don't they?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stations, and
Right.
people made like encased figurines.
Yeah, it's a figurative reproduction of the Stations of the Cross. Because Scott sent it to me, and as soon as I got it, I went, oh, that's the Stations of the Cross. I am not Catholic, but I was raised in a very Catholic city. So you learn whether you want to know it or not. Okay, enough about Easter and ley lines and holiness. Let's get into the thing. I did put up for my thumbnail today, it was a picture of the Count from Sesame Street saying that this shit show was brought to us by 45 and 47. So I thought that was kind of funny. It's not funny what's happening to us, but you got to have a sense of humor. Everyone is different, but is there any direction maybe from the garden of where we might go to help our fellow citizens get through? You want to throw some cards on it? Scott and I have the garden set up.
Sure. How can we help?
Okay. 65. Okay. That's good and path forward. We have our grounding in the path forward, so I'm going to start there. More abundance is about to be created around us. We need to look for it, though. We need to not fall into this part, which is our mind can be misled because our hearts are being misled. This little stone is speaking to the whole thing of you feel like you take one step forward and three steps back. We need to hang on to the good things and pick out good news. And there are some sites now that feature good news. And I mean, it's not fakey, oh my God, isn't that wonderful? But just something good that's happened. Because if you turn on most channels, you get nothing but negativity. Now, where's our body? Our body is in third eye. Insights need to be expressed. You need to allow good news to enter your body and be part of what you're doing every day. You need to not say, oh, yeah, that's good today, but what horrible thing's going to happen tomorrow? You need to let the good news in, and your body's also present at this time. And this says this is contemporaneous. This is happening right now. Now, what's happening to our clarity? It's in water. Clarity. You have all of the clarity you need. Follow one of the paths that works to your own good nature. And then our spirits in the fire. And it says, don't be tied to false energies of the past. And it also is tied to the past. So you think, break from previous patterns to learn your new experiences. We can't rely on the fact that things are going to work out the way we always kind of thought they were. The patterns have shifted, but the way forward is for us to be optimistic about it and hold on to good thoughts. What'd you get, Scott?
Okay. I get the Sun, Empress, and Page of Wands.
Oh, good.
So that feels to me like, like if someone has been down that rabbit hole, whether it's MAGA, Republican, whatever you want to say, we need to bring them back with loving arms.
Right.
Accept forgiveness once they see their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
With the Page of Wands is that messenger. So with love and comfort once things are revealed with that Sun. And then I get the Six of Swords, so moving on to better times, Knight of Coins, Honor of Substance, and the Three of Wands is reaching outward.
Mm-hmm.
It feels similar, the same. But anyone that admits their mistakes and being misguided and see the cruelty, you need to make comfort.
Right.
And not accuse, yeah, you're dumb for voting for 3 times, that kind of thing.
It's not just that. It's also for the people who decided their vote wasn't important. The passive people. I mean, I despise MAGA thing, and I think they're totally deluded, but at least they have an opinion. The people that make me crazy are the ones who sit there and go, we can't do anything about it.
Sure.
Those are the ones that you need to encourage your friends to see that they do have agency in this. They do have an ability to make a difference in this.
The last 3 I get are the Magician, Six of Coins, and the Queen of Coins. So the Magician is like, makes me feel like using your best senses, maybe like using reverse psychology to make people understand. And the Six of Coins is giving and receiving. You take in, you give out, you get back what you give, right?
Right.
It's reciprocal energy.
Mm-hmm.
The Queen of Coins is substance and the earth, and we're in this together.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it feels like have empathy and compassion for those that make mistakes.
Because we all make them.
We all make them, and forgiveness is part of who we should be.
Okay, this is another light question here. What next in this time of immense transition and chaos?
What's next? So is it meaning is it gonna get better or worse, or what do you think?
Well, no, just what's next. I'm going to just ask what next and see what the cards tell me.
Okay. Random reading on.
I know most people would be hoping that we're going to show some sunshiny face, but it really looks good. Real quickly, Scott, while you're still shuffling, What I got is it's our decision. It's our agency. It's how we align our spirits. And more people are making their mind up to go do something, to not sit there and be caught between their mind and their heart. And there is going to be a change somewhere within the government, within the ruling classes, and it's going to be throwing down what's burdened us for so long. And I see another person coming in, and that's not Trump. I never get the King of Pentacles as Trump, because the King of Pentacles was a wise guy who knew how to handle money. That would not be Trump. But I do see, and that could be collectively, we are going to go into a transition that's really positive. But the best card is, it's up to us. We have to do it. What'd you get, Scott?
What's your up to us card?
My last card was the King of Pentacles.
No, yeah, that one before you showed.
Oh, the Fool.
Was that the Fool?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Fool too.
Yeah. And we're on different ends of the country, guys, so there's no collusion here.
Okay. What's next? In the past, I get Magician, Queen of Pentacles, and Three of Wands. Kind of similar to the last. These are the same 3 cards I got the other deck in the last read. So Magician is like, let's see, manifestation, using the tools at hand, the beginning of something significant. Queen of Pentacles, down to earth, and Three of Wands is looking out to help each other, being helpful, being successful. So I think we got it. We got it within the universe. We got it. It's coming. Betterness is coming. In the current energy, I got 10 of Pentacles, World, and the Fool. So that's new beginnings, completions, and prosperity ahead. So I think that's a good sign there. Moving forward, Queen of Wands. Determination. Advice coming from a female source. 6 of Pentacles. I got that last read too. Giving and receiving, sharing. Kindness, and the Chariot. Conflicts and imposing forces are coming to an end. And my outcome. Turbulence is over with the 6 of Swords. 2 of Cups. Attraction. Partnerships. Ace of Cups. Happiness. And Page of Wands. We'll hear things. I think we're moving into a better time from this chaos. This does not show more nuts. It's showing moving on from the crazy. So this is definite change coming from this chaos. Let's hope.
Okay.
Hopefully the worst is here, and we're going to transition to something different with a definite change.
Yeah, there's you can feel the shift. I mean, you just feel it energetically. But if you dive immediately back into negativity, you're never going to feel yourself transitioning. Whoops. I'm trying to pick some questions out here. I'll go next one. Start. And it's Holy Hill, Hill. Someone heard us say Holy Hell.
Yeah. We got that figured out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here's the question of the day. Where is Donnie?
So yeah. Is it that? Oh, thank you for the donation song there.
Oh, thank you.
Very
really appreciate it.
It's the time for his monthly IV and disappearance for 3 days.
Well, no, people thought there was a false thing that was put out on the internet. It was old video of him being at a hospital, and it was not. He was not at the hospital yesterday, apparently, because I had a couple people message me, "Where's Trump?" I'm like, I don't care. I want to be wherever he isn't. You don't understand. But
Well, to be fair, he hasn't been seen publicly since that Wednesday night.
he didn't publicly fire Pam, or did you do it on Truth Social?
That was the day of the hearing. He was out when he went to the Supreme Court.
Ooh. Where's Donnie? Well, yes, he's still there, but he's kind of there and kind of not there. He's trying to keep things balanced. But then the real truth comes in. It's his heart. His heart is giving out. And there's nothing left the doctors can really do. And that's the Ten of Swords. That's death finished. Death, the Ten of Swords, means you might be in the middle of dying, but death reversed like that, upside down. I read reversals. That means it's over, it's over, it's over. It's not long, guys. Where is he? I think he is hidden on a bed somewhere where they can keep him sedated.
So, yeah.
I
grabbed 2 different decks. I did my full read, and then I grabbed another one to clarify with 3. And both of them are saying, yes, there was something to do with the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
There was some kind of things going on with doctor assistants. Because the King of Swords come up twice. And the King of Swords to me can be, like a lawyer, AG, doctor, professor, anyone like that. That's why I associate King of Swords. And trying to adjust his energy, and then I got the sickness there. Trying to bring back strength with so here in the main read I get the King of Swords, King of Wands, Endure, which is my strength card. So using a doctor and other intelligence, like things they've been doing, research papers, whatever, anything to do to try to get his strength back. Outcome, he may be moving on very soon.
I got a really feeling.
Chariot, going through dark times and transitioning, severe conflicts within, with the 5 of Swords. This is moving rapidly. His health, how he's trying to sustain himself, it's moving rapidly. So I think he's more in rest. It may have been done at, at the White House, but I am getting there some severe issues going on there.
Yeah, I've been working on my book about when I got sick last June and what I learned from it. And one of the things that happened in the hospital was, you go there you go to the emergency room. You do not pack a bag, right? You go to the emergency room. So I ended up having to borrow some of their underwear that they have available to you. And it's Depends. I mean, they just stick you in Depends because it's the easiest thing to do. And I called them presidential panties, and the nurses just absolutely cracked up. And so they ended up all up and down that floor. They were calling them the presidential panties. And I said, oh, we're doing something that's happening in the White House tonight, and it became a joke among us. Anyway, when I got ready to leave, that's what I was writing about in the book. My daughter was saying, is there any other stuff my mom's going to need when she gets home? And the nurse said, well, like what? And she said, well, where do you get those presidential panties? And the nurse just fell out of her chair. She said, no, dear, those are Depends. You've been reading about them forever. And I came home without Depends. I was back together and could get to the bathroom. But anyway, isn't that a fun Easter story? Greetings and blessings to all of you. Hurrah that the second fighter pilot was been retrieved. Blessed be. Or is that not true? See, that's the problem with them lying about everything they do, but I do believe the guy got back because they used a ton of, you're saying, Scott, they used a lot of military equipment to get him back.
Yeah, so they did surveillance from what I read in reporting. They used numerous aircraft and resources to find them. And then when they tried to land or to get him out, they had to use other aircraft to divert away from where he was.
Right, so they could get him while they didn't know
They
where.
could get him in a diversion tactic, but in the process, they had to destroy a bunch of our aircraft that was being diverted. So there's like two operations. One was a fake operation to lead him this way so they could get him out. In the process, we had to shoot our own planes, destroy our own planes to do it. So we lost more resources, but I read the guy's safe. And
I remember meeting pilots who survived being shot down in Vietnam and getting out, and all the training they went through so they could survive. And they same things in the Gulf War things they had. Those are just I couldn't do those guys' jobs. Ugh. Anyway, a happy healing Easter and blessings, Nancy Scott, and everyone everywhere. Thank you, Sandra. And will Trump will Trump leave the NATO? Is what she's actually asking. My first impression, Michelle, is he can't, because it's a treaty and it has to be done by the Congress. It's not him.
He can symbolically do it, but
right, he can say, I'm not going to be part of you anymore. But it's a whole lot of I relate to this one very closely because I was between my junior and senior year in high school, and I toured Europe with a choir. We sang for our suppers, literally. And we were in France when de Gaulle was trying to pull out of NATO. And in Paris, there was all this horrible stuff about the U.S. and leaving NATO. You'd get out in the countryside, and those people had no allegiance to what he was doing. The people would come up and hug us in these other towns we sang in, and they'd say, he's not our president. I mean, I was on the receiving end of what that felt like to watch be in a country that was pulling itself apart. They pulled themselves back together. They got rid of de Gaulle. So I don't think, no. Do you want to lay cards on that? I don't think they can.
They can't.
Okay.
It's the same kind of other crap he tries to do by executive order, and Congress has the rule, and then you go to court again. Mm-hmm. But anyway, people are talking about Iran is making AI videos, either Lego or other cartoonish things making fun of us and Trump. So if you ever find them, they are pretty funny.
Well, and in a way, it's part of being the package of being here, except that you have to, in your own mind and in your own heart, not accept that image of who we are, not who you. I mean, it also can start with who you are, because you're not part of that either. Will pushback from the military make a difference? Pushback about what?
Well, Hegseth fired 3 or 4 generals the other day.
Yeah, from his Department of War, which is not even a department that is really financed, because there's never been a law to make that thing. So
yeah, an alcoholic Fox News host firing generals that have been in the service, serving honorably for 30, 40 years, and he gets to fire them because he's upset with the messaging. Ridiculous.
Well, you know what his message was? We should be more careful with the use of our human assets. That's what that general was fighting about.
Right. Yeah.
I get a yes and a no. I think it's information we need to know, and it makes a difference. But the devil's behind what's pushing the messaging forward. And it's really, they figured out they put Hegseth in charge of the Department of Defense, which I won't call it that other word, the Department of Defense. But he has no real power there. I mean, those guys can run around you forever because they've been together for a long time. And they're together. They know what they're doing. But the problem is money. The rate we're running out of money.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I got the devil too.
Mm-hmm.
I think the military and the leaders see this. It's getting old. It's undecided how they feel and how they speak up because there's honor and duty to everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's the clown in charge, but they see it as the devil. The fool is taking a leap, but the Nine of Wands is undecided.
Mm-hmm.
How they can take any actions. Then I got strength doing the work. 10 of Cups. The military considers themselves as, you know, a solemn group of honor.
Mm-hmm.
Basically doing what you're told in an honor way, believing in the mission. They see this as Hegseth as a page of swords, a man of no honor, someone stealing honor from leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And then outcome. Queen of Cups. That's my United States card.
Mm-hmm.
Eight of Swords, restrictions, frustrated. The Lovers and the Knight of Wands. They don't know how to do this because if you push back, then you get fired.
Right. And then you can't do anything.
And then you can't do anything. Then all the good people are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do the right thing. So that there's a lot of restriction there.
Yeah.
And trying to do just doing the best they can within duty and taking honor in it. So I don't see the military taking any real actions. There's just a lot of frustrations.
Okay, here's a one. Will Trump pay back tariffs? No, because we never really collected any. I mean, it makes no sense.
Well, there's that push to, pay back the suppliers, importers.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we wanted to see it.
They have to figure out who paid what first.
Well, that's simple. It's already in the systems from the importers everything's logged in the system when they get delivered at ports and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So those importers already had those amounts and whatnot, and our government's supposed to be paying them back.
Well,
and supposedly the interest is mounting too. So crazy.
But somebody really loves Pope Francis and Pope Leo. Yes. Pope Leo is from my hometown.
Chicago.
No, his family's out of Joliet.
Yeah, close.
Same place, really. It's Trump at Walter Reed today.
Let's see. Last read I was thinking he was getting his treatments at the White House.
Yeah, I thought he was in the White House medical unit, but
let's see what the cards say if he ever made the trek over there. Burdens, secrets.
I got no, but he is in a hospital facility.
Yes.
And they're fighting to keep him alive. That would be, if it was this way, he'd be transitioning. This way, he's not transitioning. They're fighting to keep him alive.
Yeah. I get the Hermit, which means in-house.
Mm-hmm.
I got no travel cards.
Oh, he can't go play golf? Oh.
Page of Wands is a lot of talk.
Mm-hmm.
Ten of Wands is heavy burdens, but doing secret things. Oh, bless you, Jeff. Thank you.
Will military and veterans do something to get Hegseth out?
We kind of already ran through that.
There's not much they can do in the line of command. That's part of the civilian command of the military.
It's up to
So
the
many
president.
people are waiting for Trump to die. How is this affecting us all spiritually? Good question, Catherine.
That is a good question. What cards want that one? That one.
I'm going to answer that with the bunny cards. Because
is it okay spiritually to wish him gone? It's a good question.
Mm-hmm. How are you asking the question, Scott?
Basically, like, is it good for our soul spiritually to wish for that person to pass away?
Mm-hmm.
Because we all get angry at what the man's doing, right?
Guess what? I got a yes. I got a 5-card yes. It's not so much that he dies, he just goes away. But he raises the anger in everyone that they want to feel like they have to protect themselves. We're trying to do it in a balanced way, seeking temperance. But look at what my next card is. There he is. And we couldn't be. And the reason we're doing that is because we're speaking what's really in our hearts and our minds, and to keep it inside would be harmful. So it's not like we're wishing him dead. We're saying we wish what was in our life, peace and not the chaos that is him.
Well, there are, people online wishing for the big, beautiful obituary and, can he please go away? That's what I was thinking. The negative comments of wishing someone to pass, right?
Okay.
Even though, life would be easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the Hierophant, which is a spiritual guidance from above, right? You can say it's God or the Christ entity, whatever you want to say there. Then I get the 7 of Pentacles. And then the Judgment. So I was thinking of the soul or the effects on spirituality on us and on those type of comments, okay?
Mm-hmm. So
what this is telling me is that we're on a growth process, constant, right? The 7 of Pentacles is what we do and react and what we take in. Right. And the Judgment is a rebirth and how we heal and change. Okay? Right. So it's consistent effort from the universe. And then I get the King of Swords. So that feels like the negativity from a person. 9 of Cups is satisfaction, wishes fulfilled. And then the Page of Cups is a creative new beginning. So this negativity we're receiving, we should be counting our blessings when this entity is gone. And thinking of the blessings we would get when this person's gone, and not in a negative aspect. The next ones I get is balancing our forces of the control and having strength. That having strength is subduing our inner demons, our inner anger. My outcome, is 6 of Cups. So we've all dealt with negativity before. 8 of Wands is a sudden change happening. Ace of Wands is that new cycle, and 7 of Wands, having boundaries. That's what I think. What it says here is like redirect that wish.
Right.
Like saying harsh words about this person because this person is here to teach us, go through this time, to be here together, but it feels like tamp down the anger. Wish for this soul to move on from our lessons instead of getting so. So, yes, it's okay because it's all a learning lesson and our constant effort to be better. I don't feel like we're going to be judged for calling them names, but the direction should be changed a little in the messaging for our own soul's purpose, because we don't want to be dragged down all the time by how evil this man is, right? So that's what the message is saying in my cards.
Okay.
We are definitely okay to say it, to keep the energy level and vibration higher, because we will receive blessings eventually.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It is a mess.
Okay, let's see. Okay. I'm getting okay, we can't do. We already read that one. Okay, I'm getting excellent. I'm getting back in line, guys. While you were talking, Scott, I was looking ahead.
Yep.
Last night, Dumpster posted on Untruth Social that missing pilot was rescued. You're right, because you don't know what to believe. I think the pilot was rescued, and I don't believe he wrote that post himself. He has a guy they've known for a long time. He was a golf caddy for a while.
Yeah. There's at least one or two people that have access to his accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's not the one posting.
Well, if it's not Drew,
it feels like he's down for the count right now.
Right. Is the military going to take Trump out of the White House?
No. They don't have that authority. I don't see it happening.
I agree. Okay. Transitioning to a new civilization and a golden age without Trump in it. That's what this lady's praying for.
Yeah. Mandy, how you doing?
Mandy's off to row.
I think Mandy's from the UK.
Okay.
Changed her name, but she's been around the block. Yep.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you, Tro ass backwards, whose name I always have to think 3 times before I say it. May I get a general reading, please? Do you want on the whole environment, the world we're in right now? What do you want?
Probably for herself.
Okay.
If you want to, we haven't done that for a while. Why not?
Okay.
A couple cards to see what she needs to know.
Okay. What's the message for Salama?
What is Salama?
She's completing a lot of things. You've been throwing down a lot of stuff and getting rid of stuff, and you're really kind of weary of always having to be on the defensive, but you are working to a much better place. That's the 10 of Cups right there. You're a little discouraged right now because some enterprise you're looking at is not working as well as you'd like, but that the tension and the people who are fighting around it are going to go away. So I think it's going to turn out a little bit better. But you're definitely heading to a much higher place. But Salama's in the middle of letting a lot of stuff go, which means you're doing what all the planets are telling you to do. Good girl.
Pegasus says she's leaving because the political readings only, but we're just taking one. Haven't done for a while. So if you haven't left, please stay. It's just one read.
Mhm.
Because I haven't read a personal for a while and thought it'd be a quick change. So anyway, I see the sun. I see success and friendships and celebrations coming with the hangman. So you got to let something go. In order to get everything you want, let something go. If
Mhm.
someone around you or in a situation, you just need to let it go.
Right.
Then you have some enthusiasm, and then a union coming up with the Two of Cups that's
Mhm.
going to be very fruitful for you with a Six of Pentacles. You're going to get paid your worth with either substance of a relationship or wage. So I think you're going to go in the right direction.
Okay. Good for you, girl. Sorry we offended someone's sensibilities. It is our show. We get to decide what we do. Is this 3 days of darkness? Are we in the 3 days of darkness? And I don't think so. I don't think so.
To me, if that feels like a myth. I don't think so.
Yeah. Canada will lead the way forward in the new golden age, whilst America is dealing with its dictator. And that's true. They're doing a lot of good stuff up in Canada.
Yeah, they're making their unions and moving on without us.
Yes, Mandy, that's where my parents came from and foolishly left. What can I say? Even YouTube independent journalists are now using too much AI imagery to believe it anymore. Yeah,
This is true.
I'm so sick of seeing Rachel Maddow say words that don't match what her face looks like, what they're saying underneath. And they have her voice down pretty well, but not really. I mean, you can kind of tell it's a fake Rachel voice.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell there because it's not from the official site.
Mm-hmm. That's the other thing is as soon as you get any of those in your shorts, unless you really want that trash coming to you, say, don't send this to me anymore. And it works. They stop. Okay. Is he firing people to avoid the 25th Amendment removal? No.
No, it's mainly for the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to delay that as long as possible.
And notice the first
and anyone that makes them look bad. Christy Nome made it look bad.
Christy Nome made Christy Nome look bad. She shot a dog. Where do you go? How do you go down from there? You go work for him. The other part about it is notice he's fired 2 women, and it's the women around him that are hushed up. But Hegseth's doing things that are far worse, and he's not getting it.
Oh, yeah. International war crimes, Pete.
Mm-hmm. Hegseth and the Catholics, how's it going to go? I don't know. I like Catholics. I don't think I'd like Hegseth very much. I mean, I can tolerate Catholics. I've been around them all my
life. A service or something. He omitted a certain religious group, whatever, from it, or something like that.
Oh well.
So I think one group of religion is upset with him.
Somebody's got their panties in a wad, huh? Okay. What is Hegseth's energy? I tell you what Hegseth's energy is. He's so outrageous that you've asked more questions about him than Trump today. That's what he's good for the administration. He's good as but remember who puts Hegseth in his position.
I've seen reports that people have caught him drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they should have a breathalyzer on his microphone. And if it doesn't come clear, then he can't talk.
What is the energy of Pete? Pete Hegseth. Give me that energy of Pete.
Oh, he has a little difficulty getting along with people. He has, in particular, difficulty getting along with women. Something's happening around him that's happening very, very quickly. right now. And this is the King of Wands, although he looks like a cute little bunny. The King of Wands is getting upset with Hegseth about something, and it's going to knock him out of his cute little house that he's built for himself. So Hegseth may be in more trouble than we know.
Let's see, energy. It's not going good. Because the sense of the whole reading is the Three of Pentacles and the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's losing himself behind the scenes. Very afraid of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Family's unhappy. Everything in the past is coming back up again, which he's despising, and it involves women. So I think it's coming back that the women he tried to assault.
That's maybe the women energy I was feeling. Right.
Yeah, this is coming back around. Eight of Cups. He's being stabbed in the back, walking away, the Sun. And then the Seven of Swords, his lies and deceit. So
catching up with him.
There's an energy of him going bye-bye.
That's what I saw, the Eight of Wands, and it's going to happen fast.
Yeah. Wheel of Fortune. Then I got the Ten of Swords and the Hangman. Definite energy of him going bye-bye. He's going to be making a mistake here, and there's going to be a change.
Well, there's only so many soldiers you can fire, and then you're the one who has to go shoot the guns, right?
Yeah, his public persona is totally off from what's going on behind the scenes. So he must get a good buzz going on before he goes on stage.
Okay. Will NPR and PBS get their money back?
Yes, there was already an order.
Right.
The judge said it was illegal to take their money away, so it'll probably get appeal, of course, but yeah, I think they will.
Okay. Yeah, I think they will too, but I'm let's see. I'm trying to get back to heaps. Tries backwards. We said thank you to Tro. Ass backwards. Frankly, she thinks that, frankly, Trump's circulating rumors to garner sympathy. I don't think so. He doesn't want to have people's sympathy. That scares him more than anything.
He just wants all his people to just lavish him, and go along with everything. That's all he wants. And he's the one that's going to put out his messaging. That's all he cares about. He just wants loyalty.
Okay. I'm getting a couple more. Let me go up here and get this one. He signed an executive order restricting mail ballots. You've been reading election law recently, Scott.
No.
Who runs elections?
States do.
States do, not him. That's been one problem that they had in the only time that okay. That's what that whole Supreme Court thing about the Supreme Court had to clear when they redistricted or made election changes in 21 states. And those 21 states were states that had a history of slavery. And that's why people think the federal government has some control over this, but it didn't. That was specifically laws passed to protect people in those states.
Yeah.
And then
The Satan in Florida passed a law and is getting immediately sued too.
mm,
Something similar.
if he just goes away, that would be fine too. As long as he loses power over our nation, that's good enough for me. I think we all kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
And I pray to God.
Yeah. Wish him to go to the light.
Right.
Not passing a horrible death.
Just a quiet one, just really simple would be great. Let's see. I pray to God to remove harmful dictators all over the world. And I think that's true, because why should we? We now know what those people have suffered under.
Everyone.
Right.
It's true, Sue. We all wish consequences and justice, but maybe it's not his soul contract for justice. Maybe it's his soul contract to be a martyr.
Well, I don't want his soul contract reminds me of some past life things of some old dictator that came back. So why was Trump mum on the Texas race and then endorsed Paxton all of a sudden? Did he endorse Paxton?
I didn't hear that.
I live in Texas and I don't know that.
He's just not taking a stake until it's decided.
Well, the thing is, the reason everybody wanted him to endorse by this week is after this week, they can't get off the ballot. If he were to endorse Paxton like tomorrow, and then Cornyn said, well, then I absolutely positively can't win, and went in a huff, pulled off, then it would be open for Paxton, which they may as well just put Tallarico in the Senate right now. I mean, Paxton, I gotta explain this. Paxton is one of the most hated, and in a state that specialized in creating corrupt politicians, we created this little twerp. Twerp. I said twerp, not turd. And
Diana Hill said she heard a couple days ago that he endorsed Paxton.
no, he has not.
I haven't heard that, but
I would know that one. Because I know people who are working with Tallarico, and the longer this goes on. Okay, I'm trying to. Okay. ICE is in the airport. Gas shortages. Are they going to close the borders if the draft is reinstituted? Good luck with them on closing the ports. I have a good old friend whose brother went over to Canada during Vietnam, and she only found him 10 years ago in Canada. And they both agreed that she was not pro-war either, but she just agreed that they'd been apart too long to be friends anymore. Wars don't do anything to tear people up.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you get on that one?
That's too much to take in with multiple things. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I don't believe there'll be a draft. That would have to come from Congress too, and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, he makes all these grand things and scares the pants off you, but really, if we had a head of the House, this is why everyone needs to go get Democrats running the Congress again, because then we'd have a Congress that would balance it. And I did not see the grand embarrassment of his Supreme Court appearance, but
yeah, after that Supreme Court appearances, that's supposedly when he told Pam, "You're done."
Oh, good.
He begged him, "Oh, wait till the summer." No, you're done.
Now she can go to work for Qatar and make a ton of money and not have to put up the rest of this BS. Although that does open her up to being disbarred and a lot of other things that are heading her way rapidly.
I don't think Qatar is too happy with this administration now because they're getting bombed.
Yeah, but she used to work for them. So that
yeah.
Go back to my old employer. Daily, I set the intent that the felon be stopped. I leave it to source to see how that happens. That's a really good way to deal with it.
Yep, that's good.
And I like your title, Seeking the Shift. Will our government be successful in going after the regime's offshore accounts? Not today.
Well, obviously when this corrupt administration is gone, offshore accounts.
Okay. It sort of reminds me of the accounts they found in Switzerland after World War II.
Done again. I think yes. There's going to be so this has been done in the past in some success, but there is some abuses and some conflicts of grabbing everything and what do you call it, stopping. But the reason why I think yes is I get my Empress card and the star making things happen. There's abundance. Wheel of Fortune is the change, and then Knight of Swords is that the feds or agencies getting it done. So Wheel of Fortune says yes.
I think
going after their abundance.
The hit I get is we're going to get more help from the other governments where the money's hidden.
It could be too. Yeah.
Because we've lost so many of our investigative people who could do that kind of work. Well, can Trump still rule as president from another country? No. Because it used to be when the president left, the second they were off the shore or up in the airplane and leaving the country, the vice president was the person on the ground that ran things here. They couldn't declare war and stuff like that, but they could do a lot of other stuff. So, he could, if he went and hit somewhere, that would supposedly leave JD in power, but not really. So that's my remembrance of the American Constitution. It was a long time ago that I read it. How long ago was it? How near physical death is Mitch McConnell?
Oof.
One card pull. Got the King of Cups just sitting there. And then the next card is the Five of Pentacles reversed. At least when it's this way, they're still moving somewhere. This is not moving. It's close. I didn't get a timing card. What are you going to get, Scott?
Chariot moving quickly. Page of Coins is moving to a different path. He is in severe health with Five of Cups. Laziness. Not feeling good. Eight of Swords. He's being restricted. His body's restricted. Universal energies. And then I get the angels are talking to him with his soul contract and a lot of struggles. So it's not long.
Okay. I passed up a couple of things. They were very interesting, but some of the descriptions were a little too graphic, especially about 6-foot turds. So, Stephen Miller does truth posts sometimes, does he? I wouldn't put it past him.
You mean Caligula's posts?
Yeah.
For him? I think he writes them. I don't think he posts them.
Okay.
Because I don't think he has access to his account. What I'm seeing him like typing it up, but not sending. That's what I'm being shown. So I think he writes them or gives input, and then someone else like that, I can't remember his name right now, but that caddy that worked for him, that has always had access to his accounts, may do it. But yeah, I think he's an architect behind the posts a lot of the times.
Okay. Okay, this is notes. This lady's a good astrologer. Celtic seer. Astrologically, things are going to heat up by the end of April. Oh, good heavens. And right through the summer with the White House. Quite a soap opera's on the way. We're just at the beginning. Thank you, Celtic seer. That really calms us all down. And then
hopefully April is the beginning of the end. Set the momentum.
Okay. Pam Bondi is going to be as evasive as she was while she was in. Is Pam Bondi going to be as evasive?
Is she going to be? Well, April 14th, she's supposed to be at the hearing.
Okay.
There's been no sign that they're going to end that. Let's see what happens with this April 14th hearing. Deposition behind closed doors she's supposed to do.
I wonder if she's capable of telling the truth.
Well, according to rules, she can't lie behind closed doors deposition.
Well, we're going to see a changed Pam Bondi. I got 2 nights in this reading. She's kind of begun to understand how the world's going to lay out for her, and she doesn't want to be ever heartbroken by it, and that means her spirit broken by it. So she's going to go into the hearings pretty conciliatory in the Knight of Cups, and she's going to come in balanced. She's got the Chariot. Her energy is going to be balanced, but she's going to be a liar, pants on fire. She's got the Knight of Swords upside down. So she's going to be a bit of both, but she's going to come in with a very different perspective than if she was the AG.
Right now, she's in a 3 of Swords and 9 of Swords feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
The deception, the frustration, the tears of emotions. So she's in a lot of pain right now, being fired.
Mm-hmm.
Not what she wanted. In the past, she did those devilish deeds.
Mm-hmm.
The devil, 5 of Swords. She did everything for him, and it was not right. So the current energy, like I said, is big 3 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, and then the 9 of Pentacles. So within this pain, she's got to have some kind of balance and give and receive to get out of this situation.
Right.
Moving forward, Page of Pentacles. It's always my new path. Ace of Pentacles is giving up the prosperity, and then the Hermit, feeling detached from everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen with the outcome? Wheel of Fortune, she's got to change. 5 of Wands, she's going to be argumentative. 5 of Pentacles, that's a delay. 8 of Cups is walking away. She's going to try to get out of this hearing. She's going to try to do everything she can to get out of this hearing. Or it means she's going to walk away from what she's done.
Well, there's a couple things that came in the chat about what's going on here. The Florida bar is going after her, so she could use actions like that to protect herself. And the other thing was...
So the cards are saying she's turning a leaf. But this 8 of Cups has me...
She could become worse.
So what's...
Do you think what I saw is she's going to come in trying to be really fair. She gets backed in a corner, she'll lie like the rest of them, in part because she's got that suit against her to pull her license.
Okay. They're showing me like she's trying to get out of it.
Right.
You guys want to do this? There's a lot of worry. So initially, it feels like she's in that hearing, and she's going to try her best at first to try to weasel out of anything, but in the end, she's got to turn that leaf and then just fess up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the truth. So right now, I think she tells the truth eventually in this hearing, but there's a lot of anxieties of everything right now.
Mm.
So I think the walking away, 8 of Cups is walking away from what she's been and turning that Wheel of Fortune leaf.
Scott, this lady says she got cut off from your channel or she couldn't find it.
Somewhat Celtic helped out there.
Okay, good. Okay.
That's been taken care of.
Okay. Okay. Okay, this one's I'm left-wing, autistic, genderqueer, spiritual but not religious. YouTube keeps sending me MAGA Christian national BS. Does this happen over multiple accounts? I occasionally get weird right-wing things, and what you do, Spoonie Gnomes, I think you may know where it is, but if you look above a post, you'll see 3 little dots. If you push on the dots, there's an option there to say, don't ever send me this again.
Not interested. Just keep hitting not interested.
Mm-hmm.
To change your algorithm.
Yeah, and because there's not a person doing that to you, it's a machine. And God knows why they do that. That's not okay. Oh, how are the theme parks going to fare this summer? They employ a lot of people.
I think it's down because people can't afford it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to get there.
The average Joe can't really afford it.
Not only that, but the average worker, most of them are not in the middle of the city. And unless they have buses that take people out to work, which is not how it runs around here. I see a cash downturn completely. They're going to try to work out things to ameliorate that, but I see just a cash downturn for them. No money coming in. Plus, gas makes it more expensive for them to run everything too.
Yeah. So I get the Page of Coins. That would be going to a theme park. Then I get 8 of Swords restricted, and then 4 of Coins within the budget.
Aha.
So, yeah. The people that can afford it will go. Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Coins having the money, and 9 of Cups of wishes fulfilled. But unfortunately, there's going to be some anxieties about family vacations they can't afford with the 9 of Swords here and making things happen with the Ace of Swords. But yeah, it's all whoever can afford it will go.
Mm-hmm.
But those with a strict budget aren't going to make that trek.
Okay, and then, oh, this is a nice person to talk about. Mark Elias, is he going to nail this Death Satan here in Florida?
Yes. He already sued the Satan on their version of the SAVE Act.
Mm-hmm. Which you realize that means save our butts, not anybody else's. That's what the SAVE stands.
Yeah, Mark. Every time Mark sues, he's got like a 90-some% success rate.
And of the ones that he didn't win, they just threw him out for technicalities, but they could refile. So.
Yeah, if you can afford $5, he'd be a good one to give some money to.
Yeah.
He's safe in our country. His group.
Yeah, his group really is.
Them and the ACLU and.
Mm-hmm. that what I got is it's useless fighting. It's just crap they've made up. They've made them have to withdraw and think about it, and the answer's in the higher realms, and it looks good.
Yeah, his group and him have all kinds of Empress energy around him, taking on the government, doing the right thing. He's been very successful before with the Six of Cups. And then I got the angels are behind him. Page of Cups, making it work, doing the work. I have nothing bad going on with those 9 cards I pulled out for Mark Elias's group.
No.
Doing the Lord's work for us.
It wasn't CPL, it was the CPAC did endorse Paxton, but they would because
CPAC.
Yeah, CPAC, yeah. CPL, it's CPAC.
That would make sense. Them and the 10 people that showed up.
Yeah.
To listen to them.
This unfortunately is true. Texas, a lot of Texas doesn't get enough naturally occurring rain, and the way we get our water, like the whole of the Austin area gets its water from the aquifers, the big rivers that run underneath our country, the big things. And and they don't know kind of exactly where they start from all we know about the geology of the world. Yes, it's true. Texas is running out of water, which is one reason why some local areas are fighting so hard against those big think plants, the plants that build the super brains, the AI plants that eat water. I don't understand why they need water, but they do, and it's a real concern. So
yeah, they use the water for cooling.
Okay,
so the components don't burn up from all the heat produced.
Yeah, well, so do people, and yeah, it's an issue.
Yeah, these data centers. There's one going up I passed the other day in Port Washington, Wisconsin, and it was like a mile long along that road. The whole 100+ acres is all under construction, and they're going to be using Lake Michigan water to cool.
I thought they couldn't take water out of Lake Michigan.
I guess that's what they're doing because there's not enough water under the ground to be burned up like that. And
yeah, I don't think that bothers. I think they'll just take it anyway. But I know.
I hope there's I haven't seen it, but I hope there's a rule that it can't affect the energy costs of the locals there. It's going to be horrible if they do.
In the state of Illinois, Cook County is the only county that can use Lake Michigan water. And I grew up in the county directly below there, Will County. And when droughts would come, they could get water out of Lake Michigan. But there's something about how whoever runs the Great Lakes divided that up. And anyway, it's one of that's why I know. And they said that there are uses and usage amounts that are allowed for any entity that's against them, and that in particular, Wisconsin doesn't normally have droughts. Maybe if it's a drought situation, it'd be different. But they're going to create a drought that's going to be like nobody's business. Okay.
Yeah, Indigo Child just mentioned Colorado is lacking water.
Yeah, they didn't have any snow this winter.
The snowpack didn't accumulate like it usually does.
Is Todd Blanche the person who replaced Bondi? That doesn't sound right.
From what I've seen, he's just acting, and
okay,
they're actively looking for someone to take Bondi's place.
Yeah, well, I mean, he can't have this. I mean, we can say, yeah, he's going to be gone, but I don't think we can say much more than that because.
Oh gosh, Tennessee's on the cusp of a drought too.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't good.
Okay,
my
Jeffrey, what?
Illinois is currently 200 data centers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jeffries becomes speaker and fall guy. Dems get blamed by the Republicans for as being foretold by psychics.
I'm trying to figure out what this means.
Jeffries was next in line. I mean, whenever they had votes, yeah, but Jeffries has fallen. There's a lot of Dems that think he's a corporate Dem, that he became too aligned. Now, I've heard Jeffries speak, and when I heard him speak, but it was a while ago, he didn't speak like a corporate Dem. But I think they're saying
he seems to be in line with Schumer. I think a lot of it has to do with
that's going to change.
This APAC money and whatnot.
Well, let's see if Jeffries is going to be the next speaker, because all the psychics were saying it's going to be Jeffries. It's going to be Jeffries. And I actually had one of my things that on my own little chart of things is that he'd be speakers before the end of the year, which means nope, I get a big fat no. That there's another person writing in that's going to become the speaker. I get no. He loses in the bam bam sticks. He doesn't get the job.
In the past, he was headed that direction. It was all him. He had the momentum, but something happened lately, something to do with money. Abundance, became heartbroken. And then the outcome, I get a female possible lawyer, and there's stress and burdens with the 10 of Wands around Jeffries. So we may have a female speaker again showing here.
As long as it's not old and lying in her own pockets, I don't care.
So yeah, something happened here with his leadership, or maybe it has to do with support from funding somewhere, but the energy currently isn't pointing his way.
Oh, this is a good question, and then this will be our last one, and then we're going to go to our thought for the day. How corrupt is Florida?
How about Bigley? Well, you have Rick Scott, the biggest fraud of Medicare.
He had to pay more money in federal fines when he ran a thing that was tied to Medicare than any human ever has, and then they elect him senator.
Yeah, and he pled the fifth 75 times in the deposition I read, and he is worth like $250 million. And God, these corrupt people.
Okay, so I don't see a compelling question at the end, but I just, yeah, just, okay. Okay, and there's some people have put in for medical blessings. Go look through the chat for that. Anyway, so you want to go to thought for the week?
Well, if you can't find any more.
If
you can't find any more.
Gas fracking, yes, but gas fracking's also been, it was diminishing aquifers, but also it's been cut off in a lot of places because it started to destroy the infrastructure of the state. As in Texas, it started causing earthquakes that were getting too close to downtown cities in Dallas, where they are not built to take earthquakes. I lived in that zone and I sat through those earthquakes. So Yes, but but gas fracking in Oklahoma, there's a whole town that had to finally leave because so much of its infrastructure got cracked and moved. Everybody had to leave. It wasn't a big town, but still was somebody's town.
Very kind for the donation, Plucky Heron. Thank
Okay.
you.
Sydney Powell as AG. Oh no, God, that's the.
I know
Oh.
there's been some crazy names floated around.
Florida's problem started with a person named Bush. Why am I not amazed? Having lived with this little brother who was supposed to be stupider than he was. Okay. So I'm reading people who are reading articles. Thank you, Plucky. Okay. And okay, we're just going to do a question for the week because. And who knows where we'll be next week, Scott?
Mm-hmm.
The shadow knows.
Well, like usual, I've been grabbing an oracle from my extraterrestrial deck.
Oh, very good.
I get here, there's a female ancestor around you, and then asking you to use crystal healing when you need to.
Oh, well, I'm the person.
And that's you.
I do crystal healings. I'm going to use my.
And then. So then I get the King of Michael with this deck. King of Swords, then Solutions, which is Temperance, and then the Nine of Ariel, which is the Nine of Coins. Nine of Ariel talks about dreams fulfilled. King of Michael is staying with your integrity, being open and honest. And the Solutions, aka Temperance card, talks about success coming from a compromise, patience, and forgiving and healing. So I think it means like there's this male energy that's causing you issues, pain, and you need to be forgiving, and that leads to much more success within our soul, our energy, and people around you when we forgive. And that's what I'm getting today.
Okay. I'm going to pull from Gentle Wisdom of the Fairies, which someone wrote me and said, how can I get that deck? A friend of mine brought me these back from California, and she had bought them from the woman who had created them, and that was almost 20 years ago. So I have absolutely no idea. I don't. But I used to pull these every night before I went to sleep. So we will see. What are we going to pull for us for this week? Oh, peace.
Peace be with.
Yeah, peace. And I'll tell you what the message with peace is when I can find it. Peace. It says, you are the peacemaker, whether holding another person's hand when they are sad and lonely, or saying I'm sorry when you've hurt someone, or just being compassionate to someone who's been wrong. Sometimes the smallest acts of peace can transform the world. It's a beautiful fairy. So that's our message for this week is peace. Do not feed the chaos with your own thoughts and how you live. Okay?
Shifting Veils says, on your next live, she would like to get some questions from you about healing with crystals.
Oh, okay. Well, if you watch my Tuesday shows, if I'm not doing psychic profiles, I'm asking sort of generally questions. You can ask questions there. And if you're a member of my channel, and I'm only 10 away from 7,000, if you're a member of my channel, then you get early warning and you can post questions to my Tuesday shows, which are Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and they're taped and they're recorded, and you can catch them whenever you can catch them. So if that's questions you want to ask them there. And I'm still doing readings, and we are about to go into 6-month readings from June to December. And I'm feeling they're going to be real interesting this year. There's slightly less than 12-month readings. You can go to my website and find all those. My Tro class filled. I'm still doing psychic profiles. I got some interesting guests coming up. And other than that, but I am not so overwhelmed that I couldn't fit a few people in if they wanted readings. And my readings last a little over an hour. They can be general, where we start with what's going on around you for the next 3 months. And then we just double check. If you're a member on Scott's channel, please come over and subscribe to mine, even if all you ever come for is politics. And what is silk?
I was saying I spelled it wrong.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying ah ha ha to her comment. The big beautiful obituary.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I just want to wake up one day and have some sort of assurance I won't have to hear that voice.
True, true, true.
And I will talk to everyone later. See you Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.